All right, class, welcome back. Today, we're diving into part 2 of our first unit, and we're tackling two functions that are, frankly, the engine of any successful organization: planning and leading. We're going to break down exactly what they are and why getting them right is so critical for any manager out there. So here's our roadmap for Choi. We're going to start by really getting to grips with planning, the what, the why, and even its limitations. Then we'll see how leadership is what brings those plans to life by exploring a few key leadership styles. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation. I want you to think about management like you're building a house. You can't just start putting up walls or hiring electricians, right? That's the organizing and staffing part. No, first you need a blueprint. That blueprint, well, that's your plan. It is always the first step. So what does planning really mean? I mean, at its core, it's as simple as this: thinking before doing. It's the process of answering a few crucial questions before any work actually starts. What are we trying to achieve? How are we going to do it? When does it need to be done? And who's responsible for what? It's all about creating that clear path forward. This slide really highlights the dynamic nature of planning. It's the primary function because, well, everything else flows from it. It's totally goal-oriented, which gives the entire team a single target to aim for. And, this is so important, it's a continuous process. A plan isn't something you make once and then frame on the wall. The world changes, so your plan has to change with it. Okay, so we get what planning is, but why should we care? I mean, what's the real payoff for all the time and effort that managers pour into creating these things? When you do it right, planning delivers 4 huge wins. First, it gives everyone direction. It's like a GPS for the whole company. Second, it reduces that feeling of uncertainty because it forces you to think about what could go wrong. Third, it boosts efficiency, so you're not just wasting time and money. And finally, it makes sure there's coordination, so every department is rowing in the same direction. Now, as powerful as planning is, let's be real, it's not a magic bullet. It has its own set of challenges and limitations that, as a future manager, you've absolutely got to be ready for. This is the big question, isn't it? Every manager has been there. You have this beautiful plan, and then life happens. The world is just unpredictable. So let's talk about that friction, that gap between the perfect plan on paper and the messy reality of the real world. So you see this tension here. On one side, planning promises all these amazing things. But in reality, unexpected things happen. The process itself takes up a lot of time and money, and if you're not careful, a really strict plan can actually stomp out creativity. So the big takeaway here is this: a plan is a map, not a straitjacket. A great manager knows when to follow it and when it's time to find a new path. But here's the thing: a plan is just a document until people actually start doing something. Getting people to act, to feel motivated, to move in the same direction, well, that brings us to our next critical function: leading. This is where the human element really shines. This says it all, doesn't it? It's just perfect. A plan gives you the what and the where. It's the destination on the map. But leadership gives you the why. It's that spark that makes people want to go on the journey in the first place. Without that motivation, the best plan in the world is just a piece of paper. So how do leaders actually inspire people to act? Well, there's no single magic formula. The best managers are adaptable. So let's look at 3 common leadership styles that you're definitely going to see out there and figure out when each one works best. As you can see from this table, context is everything. A transformational leader, they're amazing in a fast-paced tech company that needs to innovate constantly. A charismatic leader, they're incredible for getting a team through a crisis. And a servant leader, they're often perfect for people-focused organizations like nonprofits. But notice each one has a risk. For example, a charismatic leader can create a team that's too dependent on them, which is a big problem if they leave. Okay, let's wrap this up with one final thought. I want you to really think about this as you continue your management studies, because this is the core tension you'll be dealing with for your entire career. So what do you think? Which one is it? Well, here's the secret. It's a trick question. The truth is, it's a false choice. A leader without a plan is just taking people on a random walk, and a planner with no leadership skills has a beautiful map that nobody wants to follow. The real challenge of modern management isn't choosing between them, it's mastering the art of being both. Thank you for your attention.